Hi guys, it's Thomas here from COTbase.com. Welcome to our weekly COT review. Today we're going to be analyzing the 25th Commitments of Traders report of 2022, and as we always do, we shall start off by looking at the largest changes in commercials positions. But before we jump to the review, just a brief reminder for those of you who are new to COT analysis that here at COTbase.com you'll find a lot of educational material, not only in written format, but we have some very useful videos as well. They will guide you through the analysis process, showing you the main tools that are available to analyze this wonderful and very valuable data. So back to the review and starting off with our first market, which will be the Canadian dollar, where we have a 26% change in commercials net positions based on a 52-week look back period. What does that mean? Well, commercials are represented with the red chart over here, and of course this is showing the net positions. This change from the last report is the magnitude. It is much greater than the average, as you can see, possibly the top 5 if I would want to say something. It is a bullish COT change signal suggesting further strengthening in this market. Now moving on to the 5-year chart, we get a chance to examine the stress levels in this market. So look at the horizontal line over here, put at the net position value in this recent report, and you can easily see that it is in between the two major extremes, so there's not much to talk about. In a shorter time frame, of course, it is more bullish. If you only look at the extreme, this net position, for the past, let's say, 2 years. Okay, so it's really the bullish COT change signal that I would be acting on. The extreme doesn't necessarily give us a huge direction, I would say. So let's just move on and look at the Euro-Japanese yen currency pair. Of course, starting off with the 1-year chart, where we can see this 26% change in commercials net position. This, again, a great change, especially if you look at the past half year. If you go further back, we do see larger changes, but I would say this may actually be the largest change in the past 1 year. It is a bearish COT change signal suggesting weakness coming in the next few days. And moving on to the, well, not the 5 years, this market has COT data dating back to 2017, August of 2017. So we're just not there yet, but it is more or less in between the two major extremes. We had this bullish extreme early this year. I should point out that if a market like this one has limited COT history, and especially if it's a currency pair, you might as well just have a look and analyze the euro data separately, and then of course the Japanese yen, and then get to understand how the Euro-Japanese yen looks like. Moving on to the natural gas market, here we have a 17% change in commercials net positions. Moving to the 1-year chart, of course, that becomes visible here. It is larger than average, but I wouldn't say it's that surprisingly large or anything that I'd be too excited about. It does suggest that we should see a bit of a slowdown in the pace of this decline. I'd be more interested in the extreme, and as you can see, we have started to go back in the past few weeks. We are headed towards more bullish extreme levels again. Of course, we're not at those all-time or close to all-time extremes, but it is shifting its direction right now, and we may actually get there as the market cools even further. Moving on to large speculator COT Extreme, we've got the South African Rand on top of our list with an all-time COT Extreme, not only in large speculators but also in commercials net positions as well. This is, of course, suggesting weakness in the next couple of months and possibly years ahead of us. The dollar index 273 report extreme in large speculators positions. Again, bearish extreme, no question about that. I would say that caution is advised. The dollar has a more unique position amongst these markets, and of course my experience shows that these bearish extremes could be in the market for quite some time before we actually reach a top. So you want to be a little bit more cautious here to just jumping in on that note. And last but not least, let's open the crude oil market with 174 report extreme, which is very surprising to see as the market is headed higher. We are actually witnessing a bullish extreme. but that's just simply showing you what traders are doing here. So we shall see how this turns out, but it does suggest that we could see even greater prices coming ahead of us. Now, I should point out that these reviews are brief, short. They really just give you a bit of a hint, and for those who are just joining, kind of an example of how you want to approach, but there's a lot more to do here at COTBase.com, and that's why I'm opening the settings tab over here on the left, because you can actually look not only at the classic or legacy commitments of traders report that we analyze in these reviews, but you have the option of looking at more newer report type, like the disaggregated, the TIF, the CIT. We do offer different data types, so if you want to focus your attention on those traders who trade futures only, or those traders who trade options only, then of course you can do that. We only show you a few market categories, but there are more markets to analyze. Oh, when I say show, I mean show in this brief review. But if you become a subscriber, you can definitely look at all the markets and use all these wonderful tools that are at your disposal here to go and dig into the data. You can add the long-term trend indicator. You can do a volume and open interest analysis. You can actually look at a specific market that you want to trade and go dig into its data. So let's say this is the South African Rand, and here you go. The whole data is there, not only in numbers, but you can actually chart everything. So that's pretty cool. You can download these charts. You can, if you become a pro subscriber, you can actually download the data itself. And I should point out we have some very useful indicators. The COT Base Pro, which includes everything that you see on the website, but you can actually use these tools in your NinjaTrader. The ICOT Intraday indicator, on the other hand, is something that we developed. It has in the sense it's not getting data from CFTC, so we're not using the classic COT data here. It is our own tool that we spent many years to develop, and it is available not only in NinjaTrader but CTrader and TradingView as well. Very useful tool for those who trade in the more shorter time frame. As you can see, this is gold on 1 minute candlestick chart, and here you go. You can see these charts below, very similar to the COT analysis that we do. That was our goal. And of course, we have some wonderful signals that will help you to enter and exit certain trades. I hope you enjoyed my review. I really enjoyed being with you, and I hope to see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Goodbye.